Sup y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to power level from 60 to 70 as fast as possible. As you guys can see, I'm on my new Monk Gorgeous Tyresis, and so me, you, and Tyresis here, we're going to be taking a trip around Outland. Actually, we're going to end up in Northrend, and we're going to get to 60 to 70 in about 2 to 3 hours, give or take. Now, I'm doing this with a partner, and so if I was doing this solo, I'd actually probably just be doing the quest, and it would take me a little bit more time, but I actually prefer to do the quest. But if you're looking to go from 60 to 70 as quickly as possible, this is, in my opinion, the best way to do it. Now, as you guys can see, maybe you won't, but up on my mini-map, you guys can see a skull there. That's because I'm actually doing this on Heroic. How do you do it on Heroic? You set it to Heroic and you zone in. It's real easy. And you can do that even at level 60. You can zone to a Burning Crusade level 70 scaled Heroic at 60. And so this is a really good way to, I guess, like kind of bolster the amount of experience that you're going to get. And what you really want to do here is, so like the last run that you do Blood Furnace at, so like let's say I do Blood Furnace until I'm at, I think it's like 62, and then I move over to Mana Tombs. And so what I would do is the last run before I hit 62, I would switch it to Heroic to get the maximum experience in case like some of the mobs were lower level and I wouldn't get as much experience. And so at 70, I would be guaranteed to get the absolute highest experience possible. And so it's, again, just thinking smart and playing smart, everything else like that. Now, really what I'm going to be doing here is just going through all the different dungeons in Burning Crusade. Some of them more than once, a lot of them just once. Actually, like it's about half and half. And the reason for that is like some of the dungeons kind of create a loop, and so there's not a lot of travel time. Like at the end of the dungeon, it's like if it's a dead end and you have to wait and you have to run all the way back, obviously you're wasting time, right? And so you want to find dungeons that don't do that. Blood Furnace is a very good example of this because after you kill the last boss, you can run down that little, I guess that little, was it like a sewer thing, and it goes like really, really fast, and it like gives you a speed boost. Like you're like going as fast as like an epic flying mount or something like that. And also, you want to make sure, I've said this before, I'll say it again, you want to make sure you actually clear the instance. And the reason for that is, you know, you get a huge amount of experience just for completing the dungeon. And so make sure you do that. And so check this out, like, you know, I can pretty much get all the way back to the beginning of the instance very quickly. And you're looking at doing all of your runs in under 6 minutes. And the reason for that is, you know, of course, you can only do 10 runs an hour. And you want to obviously maximize your time and do them and never, you know, not instance cap. And also make sure you pick up all the quests, and that kind of like the flow of different dungeons that I'm going to be doing has a lot to do with the different quests that are available. And so at 60, I think, yeah, at 60, you can pick up any of the quests in Hellfire Peninsula, sorry, Hellfire Ramparts, and Blood Furnace. You can't do the Shattered Halls ones. I think those are at 67 or 65. I think you can zone in Shattered Halls at 65, but we're not even going to go in there because it would be a waste of time. And so you want to do this until about, and we also did Hellfire Ramparts on Heroic, as I said before. You know, because like I showed you guys in my 1 to 60 guide that you want to kind of finish up with Hellfire Ramparts, but you can also do it once on what do you call it, on Heroic, just because it is a little bit quicker than Blood Furnace, and it's also a pretty good experience, and so you guys can do that as well. The main thing really is as soon as you actually get to, oh yeah, I did go over there at 61. I forgot. It's pretty late. It's actually so late it's early, and so you can come down here into Terokkar Forest, and this is where we're going to spend pretty much the rest of our time until we get up to 67, 68 or so. And we're going to be going into Mana Tombs, and the reason we're going to be doing Mana Tombs is it has a lot of mobs pretty much everywhere, and it also creates a very easy loop, and you can do each of the instance runs in about 3 to 4 minutes, and so that leaves about was it 20 to 30 minutes at the end of it after you instance cap out that you can just pretty much hang out and you know, just do whatever else you want while you wait for the instances to reset. And so anyway, I'm going to pretty much be doing this until I get to about 65 or 66. Now you can also do Sethic Halls and Auchenai Crypts, and the quests become available for Auchenai Crypts, I think it's 64 or 65. I'm not sure exactly which one. Auchenai Crypts is slightly higher level than Mana Tombs, but I know the Mana Tombs quests become available at level 64. And so you definitely want to do this until 64. And again, it's all about kind of maximizing your runtime, and then at the same time making sure you're doing all of the dungeons that are nearby, at least, that you can do quests for. And so, for example, we do not Shattered Halls, there's a lot of halls here. I think it's like, Shadow Labyrinth. Yeah, Shadow Labs. And we'll be doing that at the end here before we go over to Northrend to do Utgarde Keep. That'll be the last dungeon. as you guys can see, we just follow that little path around, and it's going to be real easy. And so we can pretty much, as I said before, doing a big loop around the dungeon very quick. And so now that I'm 64, what I'm going to be able to do is I'll be able to pick up the quest, which isn't really too big of a deal, honestly, but it is something nice that you can do, if you want. It gives a little bit extra experience, and so it just makes things quicker. Make sure that you always do the quests as soon as they become available to you. Don't wait until they turn green, because then they'll give you less experience, and you don't really want to be wasting any time, again, because this is, a power leveling guide, not just a leveling guide in general, I guess. And so we also went over to Sethic Halls, and we tried that out too. It worked pretty well, and we spent a lot of time doing that too. There are 4 dungeons in the Auchenai area, and so the Sethic Halls and Mana Tombs create a loop, and Auchenai, Crypts, and Shadow Labyrinth do not. And so if you're going to be chain running any of these, you want to be doing either Mana Tombs or Sethic Halls. And here we are at Auchenai Crypts, and we did it once, and the reason for that is just so we could get the quest done, and also since we were going to instance cap out already, we figured we might as well at least run it once, and then get the extra bonus from doing the quest as well. And so I got a pretty good amount of experience here, as you guys can see. And what you can do at 65 as well is you can go over to Nagrand and do the Ring of Blood. And the Ring of Blood is going to give you a huge amount of experience. It's going to give you twice as much almost experience as you got from turning in the dungeon quests. And I think you get 6 of them or something like that. And so after I get the quest, and also you can pick up the quest for Sethic Halls at 65. And so I pretty much did all of the quests for the dungeons that were available, and then I moved over to moved over to Nagrand to do the Ring of Blood, and then I came back around and I did Shadow Labs. And again, it's all about pretty much efficiency, and so make sure that if you have somebody running you, or if you're being ran yourself, make sure that you have speed enchants, or you have at least talents that will increase your speed. Almost every class has some sort of ability to increase their speed. And so here we are at the Ring of Blood in Nagrand. Now sometimes there are assholes around here who are just waiting to kill you, and so that kind of sucks, but usually it doesn't really happen. And it's one of the things where you pick up a quest and you run down here, you have to kill an elite mob, and there's where it is right there in Nagrand. I think a lot of people do know where it is, but maybe if you're new, you might not. And so that is where you go, and this is very easy, and it's actually really is worth it. If you want to go over there and do this. And let's see how much experience do I get from that. 22,000, and so that's a pretty good amount. And I'm just going to pretty much be redoing this over and over. And well, not really redoing it, but going through all the different the quest line here, and it ends up with you having to kill Mogor here, and after you kill him, the quest line will be over. You can get a cool little weapon that's good for transmog. I think some of the items are they're unique almost. I think the staff is. That's why I picked it on this character. So anyway, you can go ahead and do that, and it'll take you, as you guys can see, move my bar quite a bit, and I'm not even done with the last quest. And so make sure that you definitely pick this up and do it. It's just one of those things that it would be kind of silly not to do it, especially because you will instance cap out if you're doing Mana Tombs or Sethic Halls. And so in between instance capping out, you might want to run over here and get that done. And so I got up to 67 with that, and as you guys can see, I unlocked Shattered Halls, Steam Vault, and also Shadow Labyrinth. And so what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go back over to Shadow Labs. And I'm not even doing this on Heroic, and I'm going to pick up the quest there and do that at least once. Now, after I get to 67, there are also another couple of things that I could do. I could go over to Utgarde Keep and actually do leveling there. And if you guys want to take a look right there, I have a 6% experience, and I'll show you guys how far along I got from one run afterwards. And it shows how important it is to actually do the quests and how big of a difference they can make. And so anyway, this is a kind of an inconvenient dungeon because you have to run all the way back. And what I would recommend for you guys to do before you actually go over to Utgarde Keep, and it's 67. Yeah, see, look at that. I'm very far along, and that's just one run of Shadow Labs, and so it saved a lot of time. Before you go over to Utgarde Keep, and you can zone into Utgarde Keep at 67, you can queue for it, I think, at 68, though. And so if you have somebody with you, you can just run over there at 67 and start it. But anyway, you want to do all of these different dungeons on Heroic because I think that they give more experience, just from what I've seen. They give more experience than doing them, than just going straight to Utgarde Keep. Utgarde Keep is not quite as good, but it is higher level. And so here I am over, and I want to show you guys how to get over to Howling Fjord, which is where Utgarde Keep is. It's right there in Minethil Harbor, and go ahead and just get in this the ship here, it looks just like all the other Wrath of the Lich King ships, and so it's pretty obvious. I just wanted to show that so everybody knows what's going on, and then you can just fly over to Utgarde Keep and get that done. You can't do this one on Heroic, and there's really no reason to, because the mobs are the same level as you are, and so you'll be getting plenty of experience either way. And the actual quests that you can get here, you only receive those at was it level 68, and they don't really give you a whole lot more experience, and the completion doesn't really give you a whole lot more, which is again why you should make sure that you do all of the dungeons on Heroic that are nearby in the Auchenai area, and also in the Hellfire Citadel area before you move over to Northrend, just so you can make sure that you maximize on your experience, because I think the experience that you get from actually doing the quest here, or the completions, are basically the same between Utgarde Keep and the Burning Crusade Heroics, and so again, you know, just whatever. And so I'm going to go ahead and kill the boss here, and I wanted to show you guys something because it's something that will save you time. Now, if you automatically, not automatically, but instantly kill the boss as soon as he becomes active in the second phase, one thing that will happen is there's like a gate along this pathway, and that gate ahead of us, not the one right here, but the gate ahead of us will open, and you can jump down this this water area, and it will basically create a loop in the dungeon to make it a lot faster. And if you kill him too fast, he will not open that gate, and I think that because it doesn't register the boss actually dying. And so what we did is we decided to try to go ahead and wait for him to cast 2 spells. And after he cast Dark Smash, we went ahead and we killed him. And the gate opened both times, and actually all the other times that we did that. And so anyway, I wanted to show you guys that just to save time. And you know, again, pretty much just saving time and being as efficient as possible. And by the way, shout out to my boy Overpowdered here, Alexia. Helped me out with this for like at least a couple of hours. I really appreciate it. Thank you, man. It's awesome. And yeah, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get this done. But, you know, he stuck with me the whole way, even through a server reset. So thank you. And it took me about 3 runs per level, about 15 to 20 minutes per run. Or sorry, not per run, per level. And it was 3 runs, and so maybe like, I don't know, like 5 to 7 minutes per run. And there it is, level 70, no big deal. And so anyway, guys, there are a lot of other kind of like different ways of doing this, but what they really kind of get down to is you just have to run the different dungeons and make sure that you do the dungeons that you have the quest for. They're the most efficient, and also do the ones on Heroic before you leave the area, so you can maximize your experience that way. And anyway, it's very, very simple, but this is the method that I took and the route that I took. And so you guys can do this, or maybe switch it up a little bit, but this is what worked for me. So that's pretty much all I've got. Thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe.